Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at the 10 worst punishments by parents. If you guys ever thought your parents were harsh, well, they're nothing compared to these people. Well, at least I hope not. But yeah, some of these are absolutely crazy, and I didn't even believe some of these when I was researching this. So definitely drop a like if you enjoy. Let's aim for 4,000 likes on this video because it really does help me out. So coming in at number 10, we have diaper head shave. Now this one has got to be one of the most bizarre ones on this entire video. This is literally the kind of punishment that a mentalist would come up with. But anyway, this happened in Minnesota in America, and basically this 12-year-old girl just came home and showed her parents that she got a really shitty report card. So instead of talking to the teacher or maybe, I don't know, helping her out with her schoolwork, they shaved her head and made her run up and down their street in just a diaper. But don't worry too much, they didn't get away with this, and they were arrested a few hours after it happened after a neighbor called the police. I mean, if I looked out of my window and saw that, forget calling the police, I'm moving. But seriously, this was really bad because it wasn't just some quiet street in the middle of nowhere. They lived in quite a busy area, so around 50 people were standing around and watching her. And she had to do this for half an hour before the police showed up. But this one really backfired for the parents because the girl and 4 siblings were put into foster care. And the parents got a year in jail and a $3,000 fine. And probably the worst thing is that they were banned from seeing their kids ever again. I mean, what they did is bad, but I mean, imagine never being allowed to see any of your kids again. That's just terrible. So coming up next, we have selling concert tickets. So this one is a little bit funnier than the last one. Basically, this 12-year-old Australian girl really loved One Direction, and they were coming to Australia, so she begged her parents to buy her a ticket, and eventually they did, and they also got one for her best friend. But then one day, about a week before the concert, she lied to her parents. I don't know what the lie was about, but it's not really important. What's important is what her parents did. They decided, as a punishment for lying, to put her ticket up on eBay, and they also sold the ticket they bought for her friend as well. I bet her friend was pissed. I mean, I definitely would be. Well, I mean, if I was a 12-year-old Australian girl who loved One Direction, that is. Which I'm not. And obviously they sold the tickets they got for themselves. They sold the tickets for about $600 in the end, and in an interview the dad said, "You can thank my daughter for her self-righteous and lippy attitude for their sale." Damn, he sounds pretty pissed. I'd like to know what she lied about. But anyway, coming up next is starvation. Now this one is a much more serious punishment, as you can probably guess by the title of this one. And what's really messed up about this is the kids' past. So these 2 kids aged 6 and 8 have been adopted by Mona and Russell Hauer after their original parents were beating them, and because of this, the kids were diagnosed with PTSD and a bunch of other mental disorders. But anyway, their new parents, Mona and Russell, were pretty good for a while, but these parents soon became really messed up and they couldn't handle their own kids misbehaving. So they started starving their kids when they were misbehaving, and they did this for absolutely ages, and they were only stopped when one of the kids' teachers noticed how skinny he was. The kids weighed so little, it was found out they could have easily died from being that underweight. Their dad, who did most of the starvation, earns over $100,000 a year, but he still didn't feed them. So it's not like they were struggling or whatever. But anyway, the couple were taken to court and obviously had the kids taken away. And what's really crazy is the reason the parents gave for literally starving their kids was that they couldn't keep up with the boys' games anymore. You're literally 34 years old and can't keep up with an 8-year-old, seriously? But that must have been really bad for the kids because they already got abused by their original parents, and now their new parents have abused them too. I just hope that now they finally go to a good home. So next up is kidnapping. So this one is really bizarre and hard to believe, but I promise that this is all true. So this girl called Shannon Levy was partying too much and doing really bad at school, so her parents paid someone $40,000 to kidnap her. Couldn't they have just given her the money and told her to be good? I mean, shit, if someone was offering me $40,000, I'd do pretty much anything. And I mean anything. I'm completely joking, but seriously, that is a crazy amount of money. But the kidnapper didn't just kidnap Shannon, they also took her to a labor camp where you do therapy and manual labor all day. So it's basically like a fat camp, but for behavior. And doing this is technically illegal, but there are a few companies who do this. And the same company also offers a gay to straight transformation package. I don't even want to know what that involves. But yeah guys, I guess next time you go out to a party, make sure your parents don't find out, or they might just get you kidnapped. So next up is computer shooting. Now this one is from a really famous viral video, and you guys might have seen it because it has over 41 million views. But anyway, the story to this one is a dad who kept telling his daughter to stop posting disrespectful stuff about him and her mum on Facebook, kept posting and shit talking her mum and dad. So the dad decided to take her laptop out into a field and shoot it with a pistol. And he didn't just shoot it to pieces, he also recorded it, so that all her friends could see it, and he said he was basically trying to encourage other parents to do the same. But the dad actually got got so much hate for this video because people were saying he was way too harsh, and people sent him death threats and were calling him all kinds of bad stuff. I mean, I do kind of agree he could have just taken it away instead of shooting it, but death threats for shooting a laptop? Welcome to 2016, I guess. Anyway, here's a few little clips of the video.
This is for my daughter, Hannah, and more importantly for all her friends on Facebook who thought that her little rebellious post was cute.
5. These are exploding. I got 2 left.
So next up is dad shirt. So you guys have probably heard of overprotective dads, and who knows, maybe you guys even have an overprotective dad. But this guy is on another level. So this dad was tired of boys going after his daughter, so he made this shirt for her to wear that says, "Stay clear boys, this is my dad." The photo was first posted on Reddit, but it later got over 400,000 likes on Facebook and got shared almost 50,000 times. But a lot of people were actually hating on this dad for making her wear the shirt, because people were saying he shouldn't control her so much. But some people found it really funny. I just hope he didn't make her wear this outside. And the reason this is such a harsh punishment is because if you think about it, she didn't even really do anything. It was the boys who were after her. And also, that's just normal kid stuff, so the dad really shouldn't have got involved. But one thing's for sure, that this kid is pissed. I mean, just look at her face. Anyway, up next is embarrassing parent. So if you guys have ever been embarrassed by your parents when they were with you and just being themselves, well, if they're bad enough just normally, imagine what they'd be like if they were actively trying to embarrass you. Well, that's exactly what happened to this kid. This 52-year-old dad wanted his daughter to stop wearing short shorts, but she wouldn't. So he said to her, "I'm gonna show you how stupid you look." And he put on a pair of her short shorts and went out to dinner with her. And obviously he got a lot of really weird looks and actually got mocked by so many people, but he thought it was worth it because obviously his daughter was getting so embarrassed from it. But apparently it didn't work at all because his daughter refused to stop wearing short shorts, and she ended up taking these photos and posting them on Facebook, which obviously caused him so much embarrassment as millions of people saw what he did. And to be honest, I think he should let his daughter wear what she wants, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. So coming up next is shaming sign. So this middle school kid from Florida got sent home one day with a really shitty report card, and his dad had a really bad punishment in store. Now, even though this isn't as crazy as some of the other ones in this list, this one is insane because of how long the punishment went on for. And I'm actually gonna let Scarce explain what the punishment was.
His parents made him publicly shame himself, and you have to shame yourself. I would not do that, dude. That would actually piss me off so much.
But anyway, all jokes aside, the kid was called Michael Bell, and he had to stand on the corner of an intersection in Miami holding a sign that says, "I got an F in most of my classes, so as a punishment, I'm supposed to stay here for the whole spring break. If you don't do right, then you get a lot of stuff taken away from you." He failed 4 classes, and he told the local news that he knows he messed up and he wants to change. If I was the dad, I wouldn't do that because he's trying to fix a problem, so there's not too much more you can do. But this happened in 2014, so hopefully Michael is back on track now. Anyway, here's a news clip showing what his dad made him do.
Junior's dad is making him stand on a busy intersection wearing a sign that...
I don't like it, but I know that it was my fault that I got to this point.
He has been screwing up in school. Behavior and academic.
So next up is hacking Facebook. So this one is a really weird, kind of modern punishment. So this mum from Ohio had this daughter, and she was talking really badly to her and being disrespectful. So the mum changed her daughter's profile picture on Facebook with a red X over her mouth and a caption that says she's not allowed to use Facebook or her phone, and if anyone asks why, she has to tell them. This girl was only 12, and apparently she was mouthing off. Now, I don't know what she could have been saying at 12 years old, but I guess it must have been bad enough for her mum to hack her own daughter's Facebook. Anyway, this image got shared so much and has been seen over 40 million times, and the mum got a lot of criticism for this and even got things like death threats and people saying she was a bad mum. I mean, this was kind of harsh just for being a bit rude, but I guess it's up to you. And coming up last on this list is hot sauce. So this is a really extreme and probably the most painful punishment on this entire video. So this is kind of a new take on the old soap in the mouth punishment. Basically, this mum's kid was swearing, so instead of clearing his mouth out with soap, she decided to burn it with hot sauce. And this was caught on camera and shown around on a few news programs. And this mum actually ended up getting investigated by the Child Protection Services, but nothing big ever actually came of it. Well, legally at least, but she did get a lot of backlash for this, and even ended up on Dr. Phil, where as you can imagine, the whole audience hated her. And the reason I put this at number 1 is because when the kid got checked out at hospital, it was found out that his tongue and mouth was all burnt up, which is obviously absolutely awful. Check out the poll in the top right corner and you guys can vote for the worst punishment. So, you've seen some really nasty parents, but after watching Dark 5's video on screen right now, you'll see